now that we've covered the basics of PHP, I can show you how you can integrate it into what we've learned before with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So for that, we're taking this form that we've created in our previous project, and we'll be enabling PHP into it. So to do that, first we're going to take the HTML code, and we're going to cut it or copy it and put it into the PHP index.php right here. And now if we refresh the localhost, the HTML copied over, but the CSS did not. And that's because we have the CSS right here in the style.css. And we need to move that over to the same directory, the htdocs directory, as the index.php. So let's copy over both of these and the image too, and paste it here. All right, it's copied and pasted. So now if we go back, it's now as it was right here. So so just to tell you that .php files, they also can run HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So not only just .html files, but .php files as well. .php files, the difference is that .html files are read and ran on the browser right here, while when using .php files, you need to use the server. So when we put the HTML code into the .php file, the server converts this .php into an HTML code. So basically, the server opens up index.php. It looks for any of the PHP code, which right now we don't have any. It will then, if it finds PHP code, it will run the PHP code and then add the PHP's output into the HTML code, convert all that into an HTML file, and then send that file to the user. So that final output file is what I'm seeing in this browser right here. So that's why you need all these, you need to run this server in order to run the PHP file. While with the HTML file, you can just run it directly. No need to use a server. You can just run it right off your computer. So now we can begin injecting some PHP. So basically what we want is that after the user has filled out the form, we want the PHP to be able to process the form. And to do that, we want to create a new file. So we go to new text document, and then we give it form handling.php. Right? And then we go into the form itself right here. We go to the form tag, and then the on submit. Okay, then we go in here and we have two new attributes. So action is equal to, and I write form handling.php, and method is equal to post. All right. So form handling, let me double check that. Form handling the PHP, yeah, okay. And method post. I'll cover what this means later. But let me check right here, the PHP. Form error. On submit validate, right? And then where's the validate function? Validate. Okay, so only if there's an error does it print. Okay. So now, if the form is handled correctly, and you click submit, what this action does is basically after you click submit, and it runs through the validate function right here. So long as the prevent default is not called, and we only call this if we have an error, a problem with filling out the form. So if this isn't called, if the form is written correctly, Then it runs through this, nothing happens, and then send it will send the form data to the form handling.php file right here. And this method.post, that's the method of sending the data to the PHP file right here. You're more often than not, you'll be using post. PHP will use post while JavaScript uses a different method, but don't worry about that. So for the sake of making this easier, I'm just going to comment out. That did not work. All right. I'm going to create a duplicate of this right here. And I'll comment it out. And then get rid of this on submit. Because so with the on submit, I have to fill out the form correctly or else it will give me the error. Basically with this, I just want to be able to click submit and be sent to form handling.php. And as you can see, if I click submit, it will be sent to form handling. So I was just skipping the validation because I don't want to have to fill out all this every time I want to check it. So okay, so now that we've sent it to the form handling, we can now go into here and redo $PHP. All right. And now, all right. So now we can start reading the form data. So if we want to read it, we use a variable called $_post, and it's an array, so it's a dictionary actually. So we need to give it like what was it called? Input class type text. Okay, let's just call post 0. Okay, let's echo it, and let's type something and click submit. Key 0 of 9. Okay. Okay, so I figured out the problem. So we need to give each input a name attribute. So I went through and gave each input the name: first name, middle name, last name, email, pass1, pass2, gender, and date of birth. So give each of these a name. You have to. This is required for the PHP form handling. So go ahead and take the time to do that. Pause it and come back when you're finished. Now that we've given everything the name, we can now, if we click or if we go back to the form handling, I wrote var dump. This is the var dump of the post. So now if we click submit, we'll now see that it's an array right here, and it will have every one of the named variables that we just gave. So if I go in here and I give random values for each of these, at gmail.com, password, and then a date of birth, gender, and phone number. Okay, now if we click submit, we now have all that data that we just gave right here. So we can access these individually by going $_post and then just selecting first name like so, and echo it. Here we go. So now it has the first name that we've entered previously. So to give a demonstration, so now that the user has sent it, we run the function process or create account. And we'll do this later on, but for now, just as to demonstrate, after the user has created their account, we can now simply do some, we can write some text that says like echo thank you dollar underscore post first name for creating a new account break and then in the new line we can write please confirm it in your email and dollar underscore post email. So if we refresh now, expected dash. It's because I made it multiple ways. Now, okay, and line 6 right here, echo. Thank you. Email. All right. Dot for creating new at the email dot. Oh, here we go. All right. So thank you, the user's first name, for creating a new account. Please confirm it with the email right here. And so like this, you've passed the information from one page to another.